Maria sat in her old, broken-down car on the side of the road, her hands trembling against the steering wheel. The rain hammered down, blurring the world outside. For weeks, life had been pressing in on her, her husband gone, her job hours cut, and now this, her only means of getting to work refusing to start. She stared out at the empty road, feeling utterly helpless. "Why does it always have to be me?" she whispered, tears mixing with the rain on her window. She thought she had no one left to turn to. Just then, headlights appeared through the storm. A beat-up pickup truck pulled over, and out jumped a young man in greasy overalls. He couldn't have been older than 22. "Need a hand, ma'am?" he asked with a warm, confident smile. Maria hesitated. She didn't know him, he was just a stranger. But something in his eyes told her she could trust him. With a reluctant nod, she popped the hood. The young mechanic, his name was Jack, rolled up his sleeves, grabbed his toolbox, and got to work. He hummed softly as he tinkered, rain dripping from his hair. Within minutes, he realized the problem wasn't just the car. He glanced at Maria, who was shivering in the front seat. "You've been through a lot, haven't you?" he asked gently. She blinked, startled. How could he know? Jack fixed the engine, but he didn't just stop there. Instead of leaving once the car roared back to life, he sat with Maria and listened. Really listened. She told him about her struggles, how she'd been carrying everything alone, how she felt invisible in a world that kept moving without her. Jack didn't offer empty advice. He offered something more powerful, kindness. "You're not helpless," he said firmly. "Sometimes life breaks us down, just like this car. But with the right care, we can run again, stronger than before." Maria felt something she hadn't in months, a spark of hope. It wasn't just her car that had been repaired that night. Her spirit, too, felt patched back together. The next day, when she tried to pay Jack for his help, he shook his head. "No charge," he said with a grin. "Just promise me one thing. When you see someone else stuck on the side of the road, of life or otherwise, you'll stop for them, too." Weeks later, Maria kept that promise. She began helping her elderly neighbor with groceries, volunteering at a local shelter, even offering rides to single moms who needed them. Each act of kindness rippled outward, because of one young mechanic who stopped in the rain. Maria would never forget Jack's words. "You're not helpless." And she wasn't. None of us are, when compassion and humanity guide the way. Maria couldn't shake that night from her mind. The rain. The broken car. The stranger who stopped, and the words that echoed in her heart. "You're not helpless." For weeks, she carried those words like a lantern through the darkness of her days. At first, she still struggled, bills piling up, long hours, the loneliness of an empty home. But something inside her had shifted. One morning, as she was heading to work, she noticed her elderly neighbor, Mrs. Thompson, struggling with heavy grocery bags. Normally, Maria would have looked away, too wrapped up in her own troubles. But she remembered Jack. She remembered how he stopped for her when she was stranded. So Maria pulled over, helped carry the groceries inside, and stayed for tea. What she thought would be a 5-minute favor turned into a 2-hour conversation. Mrs. Thompson hadn't spoken to anyone in days. That small kindness lit up the old woman's entire week. Maria realized something powerful: helping others made her feel less broken. Over the next few months, she kept going. She signed up to volunteer at a local shelter on weekends. She gave rides to single moms who didn't have cars. She even started a small group at her church to support women who felt lost, women just like her. And with every act of kindness, Maria began to heal. But life, as always, had another test waiting. One icy evening, on her way home from work, Maria saw a car pulled over on the shoulder. A young mother was inside, cradling a baby, panic written across her face. The engine was smoking, and the mother was crying, clearly terrified. Maria's heart pounded. For a moment, the old helplessness tried to creep back in. What if I can't do anything? What if I make things worse? Then she remembered Jack's voice, "You're not helpless." She pulled over. Knocked on the window. Offered help. The woman explained she had no money for a tow truck, no family nearby, and nowhere to go. Maria didn't hesitate. She wrapped the baby in a blanket from her own back seat, drove the woman and child safely home, and called a mechanic she trusted to handle the car. The woman broke down in tears. "Why would you do this for me? You don't even know me." Maria smiled, tears welling in her own eyes. "Because once, when I thought I was alone, someone stopped for me, too." Months later, Maria found herself back at the same mechanic's shop, the very one where Jack worked. She hadn't seen him since that rainy night. When he spotted her, his face lit up. "Hey! How's that old car holding up?" Maria laughed. "Still running, thanks to you." "But Jack, it's not just the car. I need you to know something." She told him everything. About Mrs. Thompson. About the women's group. About the young mother on the side of the road. Jack listened quietly, his eyes shining. "You don't realize this," Maria said softly, "but you didn't just fix my engine. You fixed my hope. And because of that, I've been able to pass it